The United States government has announced one of the most sweeping visa reevaluations in recent history. 55 million legal visa holders will undergo what officials are calling continuous vetting. This includes individuals with work visas, student visas, exchange programs, and other long-term residency permissions. According to the State Department, any violations of U.S. laws, overstays, or perceived public safety threats could trigger visa cancellations and deportation proceedings. The announcement comes amid growing concerns over national security, immigration control, and labor safety. In particular, recent incidents, such as traffic accidents caused by undocumented truck drivers, have put pressure on policymakers to tighten regulations. Senators, federal agencies, and immigration authorities are positioning this review as both a safety measure and a signal of stricter enforcement. Experts point out that this is unprecedented in scale. Reviewing tens of millions of visa holders simultaneously requires sophisticated data infrastructure, cross-agency coordination, and careful legal oversight. From compliance with immigration law to protecting civil liberties, the initiative raises questions about how the government balances enforcement with fairness. The review also intersects with other U.S. policy priorities, such as protecting domestic labor markets, maintaining public safety, and countering extremist activities. This initiative is expected to be politically and socially contentious, as it affects not just the visa holders themselves, but also industries that rely heavily on foreign talent, including education, healthcare, logistics, and technology. The following slides break down the scope, criteria, key targets, specific bans, and anticipated impacts of the Visa Review Initiative. Each section provides detailed insights into who is affected, why the government is taking action, and what it could mean for both immigrants and the U.S. economy. In a move that has shocked both immigrants and industry groups, the U.S. government announced that all 55 million visa holders will be re-reviewed under a new continuous vetting process. This initiative is described as a systematic reevaluation of compliance and security status, extending to long-term work, student, and exchange visas. Federal officials emphasized that this is not just a routine audit. Instead, it is intended to identify potential threats, prevent visa misuse, and ensure that visa holders continue to meet U.S. requirements. The State Department outlined that any violation, whether overstaying, committing a crime, or being linked to extremist activity, could result in immediate visa cancellation and deportation proceedings. The scale of this operation is massive. It requires coordination between immigration authorities, Homeland Security, the State Department, and other federal agencies. The review will also leverage data analytics, social media monitoring, and interagency intelligence sharing to ensure comprehensive coverage. Officials claim this approach is designed to protect public safety and maintain the integrity of U.S. immigration systems. From a political standpoint, the announcement signals a shift towards stricter enforcement of immigration laws. Lawmakers and administration officials argue that while the U.S. remains a nation of immigrants, there must be accountability and adherence to laws, particularly for those who enjoy temporary or long-term residency privileges. Not all visa holders are equally affected, but the government has highlighted specific risk criteria. According to the State Department, visas can be revoked for individuals who overstay their authorized time in the U.S. Those who remain beyond the expiration of their visa risk automatic cancellation. Immigration authorities stress that overstays, even for a short period, will be flagged in the system. Engage in criminal activity. Any involvement in illegal activities, ranging from minor infractions to serious felonies, could trigger visa revocation and deportation. This is part of a broader law and order emphasis in immigration policy. Pose a public safety threat. Individuals considered a threat to public health, safety, or security will be prioritized for review. This includes cases where there is credible evidence of dangerous behavior. Have links to extremists or terrorist organizations. The government is particularly vigilant about connections to foreign or domestic extremist groups. Any intelligence suggesting such ties could immediately nullify visa privileges. For those already inside the U.S., This process can lead directly to deportation proceedings. Immigration authorities are coordinating with federal, state, and local agencies to enforce these actions. Experts warn that due process concerns may arise as millions of people will need notification, hearings, and verification of their status. This targeted approach aims to remove individuals who violate U.S. law while preserving legal immigration for those who comply with regulations. However, the logistical challenge of reviewing tens of millions of visas raises concerns about accuracy, fairness, and potential bureaucratic delays. Student and exchange visas are a primary focus in this initiative. Reports indicate that the U.S. government has already canceled 6,000 student visas, signaling a more aggressive review process. This includes international students at universities, exchange program participants, and visiting scholars. The crackdown is being led by Secretary Marco Rubio, who has emphasized both security concerns and compliance with educational regulations. Social media and digital activity are increasingly part of the screening process, as authorities seek to verify the authenticity of student intentions and monitor behavior that may violate visa terms. Universities and educational institutions are now advising students to maintain meticulous documentation of enrollment, residence, and financial standing. Failure to comply with reporting requirements could trigger visa cancellation. The tightening of regulations has sparked debate, with critics warning that overly strict policies may deter foreign talent and impact U.S. higher education competitiveness. While the stated goal is national security and compliance, the focus on students raises questions about academic freedom, privacy, and the potential chilling effect on international scholars. Universities are preparing to assist students in navigating the re-review process to avoid unnecessary visa cancellations. A key component of the announcement is the temporary ban on work visas for commercial truck drivers. This decision follows a fatal crash in Florida, where an undocumented driver caused the deaths of 3 individuals. The government has framed this measure as both a public safety initiative and a labor protection strategy. Secretary Rubio stated, "Foreign drivers threaten both safety and U.S. jobs. Until we can ensure proper vetting and training, work visas for commercial truck drivers are halted. The ban is global, applying to drivers from all countries without exceptions. The decision has major implications for the logistics industry. The U.S. is currently short approximately 60,000 truck drivers according to ATA data. While the American Trucking Association supports the ban citing safety first, critics warn it may exacerbate supply chain issues and contribute to rising costs in consumer goods. In response, the Department of Transportation has raised English proficiency and safety training requirements for drivers. This move aims to raise professional standards, but may further restrict the labor pool. The intersection of safety, labor shortages, and visa policy will be closely monitored over the coming months. The visa review and truck driver ban are already sparking debates across political, business, and social spheres. From a security perspective, proponents argue that these steps protect American citizens and ensure lawful immigration practices. They also emphasize that foreign nationals who abide by the law and maintain compliance are not targeted. However, industry groups, particularly in logistics and higher education, warn of unintended consequences. The truck driver ban could worsen supply chain bottlenecks, delay deliveries, and drive up shipping costs. Similarly, student visa cancellations may discourage top talent from enrolling in U.S. institutions, impacting research, innovation, and cultural exchange. Politically, the administration frames this as a tough but necessary action to prioritize national security and public safety. Civil rights advocates and immigration experts, however, have raised concerns about due process, fairness, and potential discrimination in the vetting process. Social media monitoring, in particular, has drawn criticism over privacy issues and potential overreach. Ultimately, the policy underscores a delicate balance between security and economic impact. While authorities argue the measures are targeted and justified, the ripple effects on labor markets, education, and international perception will be felt in the coming months. Stakeholders will watch closely as the government implements procedures, hearings, and enforcement protocols for affected visa holders.